Hi, I'm John Gallagher Jr. I'm an American Idiot on Broadway, and I'm here to answer your questions for Broadway.com's Ask a Star. My two favorites that are not from American Idiot, I really like When I Come Around, I really like Redundant. And maybe someday we'll do a second encore, just me, and everybody else will leave because they think it's a dumb idea, but at least I'll do it. It would never ever happen, but there was a record that came out last year called The Monitor by one of my favorite bands, Titus Andronicus. But considering that the lead singer of Titus Andronicus was in a video that kind of poked fun at American Idiot, the musical, and the idea of rock musicals in general, I don't think you're going to see that musical anytime soon. It'd have to be somebody like kind of out of left field, like you know, I think one of the greats, like maybe like, you know, Patti LuPone or someone who you wouldn't necessarily see it coming. Well, Dory, no, I definitely don't miss it. It was fun for a while, but I now look back at pictures from where I was just like, you know, at Thanksgiving with my family or something, and I walked around with that. It's just a bowl cut. That's really all it is. A very serious bowl cut. It took a lot of preparation to get it to look the way that it did in the show, actually. There was an Act 1 hair and there was Act 2 hair. And in Act 1, I did it myself, and I basically just teased the heck out of it and messed it up and made it look like I'd slept on it for about 5 months straight without washing it. And then the Act 2 hair, our hair guy actually had to tease it up, and that took about 7 minutes to get it to really reach that altitude. One of my favorite horror movies is a horror movie called The Changeling with George C. Scott. It's about a man who loses his family and moves into a big empty house to try and write music, and realizes that the house is haunted by the spirit of a little boy. Maybe that would be a good musical. We get Tom Kitt to write some really spooky, eerie orchestrations and a little age makeup, and I'll play the George C. Scott role, and it'll be a disaster and close after 4 performances. You know what, why not just go straight to the top and just be part of the huge phenomenon that is the Twilight series. But I would just want to have like a walk-on role, or a victim, like a random victim, somebody that just gets killed really quickly by a vampire, or, you know, like maybe just an extra that nothing exciting happens to. Like maybe I just walk by in like a party scene or something. One of my favorites has always been Elvis Costello. When I was a teenager, I got into him, and I've listened to all of his records. I've heard that he's a really down-to-earth person, but he's one that I can't even imagine really meeting. And then, of course, there's, you know, the legends, Paul McCartney and Bob Dylan, and it's the same thing. They're in that caliber of people that I would not know how to thank them for the gift of the music that they've given, not just me, but the world at this point. He slid right in and fit perfectly, and also brought just a type of energy to the theater that we haven't had yet during the show, even with all the great audiences we've had and the opening night and all the excitement. But having him on stage is a whole different thing. I remember what was amazing for me was that he used to, I have this monologue kind of before St. Jimmy starts, and it's about 20 minutes into the show, and it's when Billy made his first appearance. And he would be backstage, and to psych himself up, he like would scream his head off and just go crazy and like pump himself up. But you know, these theaters aren't actually that big backstage, so it was audible to everybody in the theater. Even though his microphone wasn't on, everybody could hear it. I could hear it. Audience could hear it. And it was amazing. I loved it. I loved that he did that every night. It's something that probably normally wouldn't happen, and if any actor on Broadway decided that's what they needed, they'd probably be told by their stage manager to shut up. That pencil was made of marzipan candy, sickeningly sweet. We did many, many takes, and I thought I was going to go into a coma afterwards. But it was fun, though. Awesome. Wonderful. Goddess. Hilarious. Smooth. Rockin'. I don't remember. It was such a surreal experience winning the Tony back in 2007. I've heard a lot of different actors describe it, and I definitely relate to some descriptions. I remember that same year, who was it? Julia White said that she felt like she couldn't feel her arms, and I remember feeling a very similar sensation. It happens lightning fast too. I can't even describe to you how quickly you're in the chair, and then you're walking, and then you're up there, and then you're in an elevator backstage on your way to get interviewed for it. It really is like the speed of light. It's a really crazy experience. I don't think that I could reprise my role in Spring Awakening. I think I was right on the cusp of being a little too old at the time that we did it, and I think I just made it. And if they were to make a film of it now, I don't think that I would jump to be involved, simply because I think that there's probably a young performer out there that's of the age that could probably come in and destroy it. And I would be more excited to see something like that happen than to have myself. As much as it would be amazing to continue with the project if that ever happens. Yeah, I think I'm too old. Carol, I can't wait to see the Rabbit Hole film. I'm so excited for my friend David, who wrote it, and the fact that John Cameron Mitchell directed it, and they put together an awesome cast. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to see it as soon as it comes out. Yeah, I have so many memories of working on that play. It was my Broadway debut, and just a dream cast. Mary Catherine Garrison and John Slattery and Tyne Daly, Cynthia Nixon, and it's definitely never been easier. Walking on stage for that, I had a scene with Cynthia Nixon that was about 15 minutes, maybe. It was a really long scene. It was just the two of us. And I don't know if I've ever gotten more lost on stage in a good way, in the way that you want to get lost, where you step out on stage and you don't even remember where the scene begins or where it's going or where it's going to end. And that was all Cynthia being on stage with her. She just makes it so easy. All you have to do is look into her eyes and you're there. I've never named my guitar, but I just bought a new guitar last year, and it's a brand new Gibson J45, so I really should get on it. Thank you for prompting me. I'm gonna go rack my brain and try to think of an appropriate name. It's a little rusty, so I'm gonna not embarrass myself here in the Broadway.com studio. Also, I wouldn't want to do a disservice to your accent. And there was this one guy I met who was from Dublin after the show one night, and he had come over and he met me afterwards, and he was really taken aback. He was surprised that I wasn't from Ireland. He thought that I was, that they had gotten another, Irish actor to be in the show. So that was a huge compliment. If I could make somebody, who was a native to the area think that I was actually from there, that meant a lot. If I woke up tomorrow as a woman, I don't know if the first thing I thought would be like, finally I get to play that female role on Broadway that I've always wanted to star in. So, I don't know, you know, let's see. Oh gosh, well there's so many great ones. Yeah, you know, maybe Sally Bowles. Maybe I want to play Sally Bowles. Or just go straight to the top and be like, you know what? I'm gonna be Mama Rose and you guys are gonna have to deal with it. It's age-blind casting. I don't care, I'm doing it. Interesting question, Kelly. I've heard this one before. A lot of people think that there's a trend happening with Glee that everyone that was in Spring Awakening will somehow make an appearance on the TV show. I don't really think that's the case. I don't think we're going to need to worry about me being asked to be on Glee. I don't know, I have a feeling like I wouldn't necessarily fit so much on the show. But if I were to be asked, if I were to sing a song on Glee, it would probably, like, it would need to be a really strange song in order for it to work for me. I wouldn't do any like modern pop hit. I wouldn't do any Katy Perry or Kings of Leon or any of the stuff that they're trying to get on there right now. I would probably insist that I do like a bluegrass song or something like Ramblin' Jack Elliott. And then after nobody watched that episode and the blogs and message boards were filled with death threats and hate mail for me, then I would probably go into hiding and never do a television show again. Thank you all so very much for your questions. I had a lot of fun answering them, and when you can, hope you come see American Idiot on Broadway. Thanks again.